Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Kim and welcome back to Uncommonkim. So today we're going to be doing my self-destruct TBR. I've mentioned in a couple of TBR videos that my previous self-destruct video I've either unhauled or read all of them by a one that I'm just putting off for the foreseeable future. So hey ho, but we're gonna come back and we're gonna do a new fresh self-destruct TBR. So if you don't know what a self-destruct TBR is, basically if I don't read these books in the next year I have to unhaul them. So I have 10 books, 4 fantasy, 4 horror mystery thriller and 2 romances that have either been on my TBR for a long time or I noticed myself just putting it off. So I'm going to go through each via genre and just discuss the reasons I put it on here, but also the reasons I keep putting them off. I'm going to start with romance because I literally only have 2 books for this, because most of my romance I'm quite good at reading through and not many of them have been on my TBR for years, apart from these 2. So the first one we have is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is a very loved LGBTQ plus rep romance. I believe it is a part of a series as well, and I have no excuse for not reading this other than I just haven't read it. And I still am very much interested in this. I believe it has a TV show as well now, but I have owned this for years. I kind of got back into reading in like 2020 and I'm pretty sure that's when I bought this, so hey ho. So it says, what happens when American's first son falls in love with the Prince of Wales? Now I will admit I am a royalist, in the sense of I love the royal family over here in the UK. I follow what they do and I like them. I know a lot of people don't, and I know a lot of people have their own opinions, but due to the way I've been brought up, I love the royal family. So the fact that this does follow the Prince of Wales, obviously not the Prince of Wales, I understand, but a Prince of Wales, a fantastical fictional Prince of Wales, it does intrigue me in that sense, and I have only heard good things, and so I really want to get to this in the next year so I don't have to unhaul it, because I do believe I will enjoy it, but someone just needs to kick me up the backside, please. And then the next one of romance we have is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. Again, a very popular romance series that I haven't read nor started. So this is like the first book in the Twisted series. I think there's like 3 or 4 in said series. Twisted series 4. A series of interconnected standalones. I've never read anything by Anna Huang, but I know she's very, very much a loved author in the romance genre. I have no idea what this is about, but I have owned it for so long. I just need to read it. I bought this, I think, probably about 3-ish years ago, and I was meant to buddy read it with my cousin Lauren, and then she read it without me. And I never read it, and I'm pretty sure she's read the whole series. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure she has. And then I've just never read it since. I'm gonna read the synopsis only because I don't know what it's about, and it will give me a hint of whether I'll enjoy it or not. So Alex Volkov is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that has haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuits for success and vengeance leave little room for matters of the heart. But when he's forced to look after his best friend's sister, he starts to feel something in his chest. A crack, a melt, a fire that could end his world as he knew it. Ava Chen is free spirit trapped by nightmares of childhood she can't remember. But despite her broken past, she's never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she shouldn't want. Her brother's best friend, her neighbour, her saviour and her downfall. Theirs is a love that never supposed to happen, but when it does, it unleashes secrets that could destroy them both and everything they hold dear. Like, but in my opinion, it just sounds like a typical romance, with like forbidden love because it's your best friend's sister, and yeah, like I don't know if I'm gonna love this. I'll probably like it, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see if I can get to it in the next year, and if not, then I'll just unhaul it. I think I'm gonna go mystery thrillers next. And literally all of these have been on my TBR a long time, apart from one which I think it came out last year, and I just need to read it because it finishes a series. So we'll start with that one, which is One of Us Is Back by Karen M. McManus. I love Karen. I love her books. I love her stories. So she is a YA mystery writer, and I've really loved this series. So book 1 is One of Us Is Lying, book 2 is One of Us Is Next, and then this is the third and final book, which is One of Us Is Back. And I've really enjoyed the past two. I think I gave them 4, maybe even 5 for book 1 stars, and I really enjoy them, and I just need to get on and read this final book in this trilogy because it will finish a series for me. And in this we follow a group of students at a school called Bayview. In book 1, someone dramatically dies and they're trying to figure out who murdered said person, and then book 2 we follow very similar characters to book 1, but there's a kind of more of a different mystery that we're following. And then here in book 3, somebody's playing a game with them by the sounds of it. The students of Bayville High finally think they're safe, but a mysterious billboard message appears. A time for a new game, Bayville. Students go missing. It's clear that this game has deadly consequences and no one knows the rules. Now everyone's a target, time's running out, and a killer is lying in wait. I'm just excited to get this done, and I really hope that I will read this in the next year because it is such an easy book to read to finish a series, and I loved book 1. Book 2 was good, but I loved book 1, so I really hope I can get this done so I can just be like, yeah, done. But I have a lot of Karen's other books as well that I haven't read, so I think the foreseeable, my like self-destruct TBRs will probably have a Karen book in all of them because I just need to get on and read them. Next is one of the like only non-fictions I actually own. I don't read a massive, no I don't, that's a lie, I don't read non-fiction, I don't, and I really want to get into like true crime, horror-y, thriller-y non-fiction. I own a couple now. I think I own 4 total looking at my shelf, and it is something I want to get into, so I'm hoping this might push me to read them because this one I have owned for years, and I found out about this book through Olivia Rees-Latte years ago when she first read it, and she said how uncomfortable it made her, and I was like, yes please. And that's I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. Michelle unfortunately passed away, and never actually saw her book get published, but somebody else picked it up and got it published for her, and I believe, I could be wrong, but due to her investigation it led to them finding out more about said Golden State Killer. So this is a non-fiction about the Golden State Killer. So it is a true crime account of the Golden State Killer, the serial rapist turned murderer who terrorized California for over a decade. So I'll Be Gone in the Dark offers a unique snapshot of suburban West Coast America in the 1980s and a chilling account of wreckage left behind by a criminal mastermind. It is also a portrait of a woman's obsession and her unflagging pursuit for the truth 3 decades later, in spite of a personal cost. updated with material which takes place in extraordinary events that followed in its initial publication. Michelle McNamara's first and last book is a contemporary classic, humane, haunting and heroic. I'm very, very intrigued in true crime as a whole. Is one of my kind of my likes, my passions, if you like. I do love reading about true crime cases, and when new true crime cases do pop up, I do like to follow them and see how they follow, and it's just a little bit of a passion of mine. So I'm very excited to read more on the Golden State Killer, because I've personally not watched any documentaries or read any articles on the Golden State Killer, because I want to read this. So I'm very excited, because I know it's a huge case. So I am excited to read this. I just hope, for the love of Christ, I do it in the next year, otherwise I have to say goodbye to this book, and I really don't want to. Next is the first Stephen King I ever bought. And I say ever bought, it was actually bought for me by my friend Danny. She bought it for me for Christmas. We did like a Secret Santa. We did a Secret Santa between me and two of my friends, Danny and Amy, and Danny had me, and she bought me the trilogy for this series, and it's Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. So this is more of a crime thriller rather than horror from Stephen King, and I'm so interested in it. I just need to read it. So in this one we follow Bill Hodges. So who is going to be the fish in this relationship, and who's going to be the fisherman? Bill Hodges, retired cop tormented by the Mercedes massacre, a case he never solved. Brady Hartsfield, perpetrator of the notorious crime and preparing to kill again. Now each is closing on the other, and in a mega stakes race against time from worldwide best-selling murder suspense Stephen King. So yeah, it's more crime thrillery than Stephen King's typical like horror thrillery writing, and I'm so interested in this. I just need to force myself to read it. But I have read my first Stephen King this year, where I read Carrie, and I do plan on reading Salem's Lot in July with Lorraine, so I'm hoping then it might kick me up the backside to then read Mr. Mercedes, because I'm so interested in it. And then the final book we have for like mystery thriller horrors is The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodore Goss. So I've owned this a long time. I own the whole trilogy, and as you can see I have started it, and I even like started tabbing it, and I'm very interested in this, and I've started reading it a couple of times, and then the timing just wasn't right for me and I had to put it down. But in here we follow Mary Jekyll, and after her parents' death, she quickly finds herself drawn into the secrets of her father's mysterious past. A clue leads her to believe that Edward Hyde, her father's former friend and murderer, may be nearby, and there is still a reward of information resulting in his capture. But her hunt brings her not to Hyde, but to Diana, his daughter, a near feral child left to be raised by nuns. With the assistance of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, Mary continues her search for the elusive Hyde, and soon gathers around her more women, all of whom have been created through terrifying experiments: Beatrice, Catherine and Justine. I'm so excited for this, because it's like Jekyll and Hyde, or Jekyll and Hyde's children, shall we say, and then Sherlock and Watson, and I just think this is going to be such a good time. I just need to force myself to sit and to read it, and then I can read the series, because the series is very much loved, and I'm very, very excited to know what the hype's about. But I just need to kick myself up the backside with it, because I know that this could 100% be a 5-star read for me, but I need to force it. Okay, now on to fantasy. Now some of you would have seen this coming, and I've gone for Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare, because as a lot of you know, I own 5 copies of this book and I haven't read it, and I now own 2 copies of the Rag Picker King, which is book 2, and I haven't read book 1. So Swordcatcher has to go on here. This is like just the standard paperback, and I have started it. I'm literally halfway through the book. But I'm gonna have to start again because it was so long since I started it. But I love Cassandra Clare, and this is her first book in her first adult fantasy book, adult fantasy world, instead of her usual Shadowhunters. And this, I believe, is set of Castlane. Is it Castlane? Yes, vibrant city of Castlane. And we follow a couple of different characters. We follow Kel, who is an orphan stolen from his old improvised life to become Prince Connor's body double as his sword catcher. He and Connor will become as close as brothers, yet Kel lives for one purpose: to die for Connor. And then we also follow Lynn Castor, who is a physician, part of the community orchestrated for its rare magical abilities. After a failed assassination attempt pulls her and Kel together, they are drawn into the web of the mysterious Rag Picker King, who rules Castellane's criminal underworld. And from what I read, I loved. And then I can't remember what happened, but I put it down, and like a year and a half later we're still here. So I just need to get on with it. I need to read it because I know that I'll love this, because I love Cassandra Clare, and I love her worlds and her characters and her writing, so I know I'll enjoy it. I just need to get on with it and stop being a pain in the arse. Next one is another one some of you might have seen coming, and that's Queen of Air and Darkness, also by Cassandra Clare. So this is the last book in the Dark Artifices. Yes, this is the third book in, third and last book in the Dark Artifices. And obviously Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter world is broken up into many different mini-series. So we have the Mortal Instruments, which are 6 books, which I've read. Then you have the Infernal Devices, which is 3 books, which I have read. Favourite series ever. And then we have the Dark Artifices, which is 3 books. And this is the final one in that series. And I have 1 series to go, and I would have read all of Shadowhunters. So why am I putting it off so much? Good question. That's why. It's one of the longest books on my TBR, at 863 pages. And the ending of Lord of Shadows, which is the book before this, broke my fucking heart. So I'm dreading going into this because I know it's going to be very grief heavy, very action packed, and everything is going to wrap up, and it terrifies me. So that's why I haven't read it yet. But I believe in myself that I can do this. This isn't the biggest book I've ever read. It's fucking up there. And I know that I will love it and I will enjoy it. I just need to do it. But it terrifies me, and I've put it on many a TBR, and it just goes back on my shelves because I don't read it, because it does just terrify me. It's like a fucking Bible, do you know what I mean? Like, look at the size of it. I don't know. I know I love it. I just need someone to force me, you know? I just need a bit of peer pressure. Next we have another book which has been on my TBR for a very long time, and I honestly believe out of all of these books, this might be one of the only ones that I don't read and I have to unhaul this time next year. Because I don't think there's anything on this earth that could force me to read this. And that's The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker. All I've heard is negative opinions, and all I've heard is that I won't like it. Because it's not very... There's no like build up in the story. There's no kind of, oh, this is happening and this what's happened to this character. It's very much like, boom, have it, chuck it in your face. I don't give a fuck, like kind of just throws you in the deep end with no context. So I think this isn't going to be for me, and I don't think I'm going to read it, and I think in a year's time it will probably be unhauled, but that's okay. But the only thing I have just noticed is that John Gwynne has blurbed it, and I do love John. We shall see. But because I don't know what this is about, and I'm sure you don't either. So, for generations, the 100 Islers have built their ships from the bones of ancient dragons to fight an endless war. The dragons disappeared, but the battles for supremacy persisted. Now the first dragon in centuries has been spotted far off waters, and both sides see a chance to shift the balance of power in their favour, because whoever catches it will not win only glory but the war. It just doesn't sound like something I'd like, to be honest. I'm pretty sure I bought this because someone was doing a readathon somewhere, and I thought, oh, I'll join that, and then didn't. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be one that I will actually read, but we'll see. But I'm not feeling hopeful. And then the final book we have for my self-destruct TBR is The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. I am very heavily interested in this series. I just don't believe in myself that I will read it without pressure. And it is a debut epic fantasy. I don't really know what about. I haven't really read anything by Richard Swan before, but it has been out for a bloody long time. So the Empire of Wolf simmers with unrest, rebels, heretics and powerful patricians all challenge power of the imperial throne. Only the order of justice stand in the way of chaos. Sir Conrad Bonvolt is the most feared justice of all, upholding the law by way of his sharp mind, arcane powers and skill as a swordsman. In this he is aided by Helena, his clerk and protege, orphaned by the wars that forged the empire. When the pair investigate the murder of a professional aristocrat, they unearth a conspiracy that stretches the very top of the imperial society. As the stakes rise and become ever more personal, Von Volt must make a choice. Will he abandon the laws he sworn to uphold in order to protect the empire? I believe I will love this because I love epic fantasy. I do. Epic fantasy is my shit, and I do believe I will really enjoy this one, and especially with like the murder aspect. It's just, from the sounds of it, it's giving me like Take Your Cup vibes, and I love the Take Your Cup, so I'm hoping I really will enjoy this one. And I know that Jade from January Reads loved this series. I think she gave them all 4 stars, and I have very similar taste to Jade in regards to epic fantasy, so I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful, so I'm hoping I will get to this in the next year and we'll be good to go. But that is my self-destruct TBR. Let me know what books you think I should prioritise, because I don't know and I'm extremely overwhelmed. Obviously I need to prioritise Swordcatcher and Queen of Air and Darkness, but I need peer pressure, so feel free to go full whack peer pressure with me, that'd be great. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you're new, as we're on our way to 500 subscribers, and I will see you all soon for another video. Bye.